Good morning to you. Happy Saturday. It's sunny here in Chard. Lovely day. Lovely spring day. And we've had daffodils in our kitchen all week. And they have been absolutely glorious. Here we are in Romans 12. And Paul's encouragement to us to live out what we believe. Because what is the point in believing what we believe if we don't tell other people about it? If we don't share the hope that we have? If we keep it to ourselves? If we don't challenge people's thinking? This modern world in which we live, it needs us to challenge people, the way they think and the things they think are right and the things they think are wrong. All politically correct and everything, accepting anything, any behaviour by anybody. Somebody has to challenge it. We have to let our light shine before men. And it might lead to unpleasantness. I think it does when we challenge people's strongly held views with the Bible. It's part of our life as Christians is to challenge them. Here he says in chapter 12, verse 11, never flag in zeal. Be aglow with the Spirit. Serve the Lord. Our priority must be to serve the Lord, not to please those around us or those we meet. We need to please the Lord. Rejoice in your hope. Be patient in tribulation. There's an expectation in Paul that speaking the truth in love is going to lead to trouble. We must be patient in that and constant in prayer as we pray for the world around us and those we witness to. Contribute to the needs of the saints. Practice hospitality. Very practical. Do we know someone in our fellowship who is in need, physical need? Then we should help them. This is part of our life, part of loving one another. That doesn't mean that if we've got someone who's lazy and doesn't work and refuses to contribute, and they're struggling as a result, that we pander to them. No, there are verses elsewhere that say, if a man does not work, he should not eat. No, we should be balanced and thoughtful, but we should help one another when we can and when it's needed. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. That is an amazing thing. I was watching again that video, which is on YouTube if anyone wants to find it. It's the song I Have Decided to Follow Jesus, sung by the persecuted church in India. And it carries a warning because it has graphic pictures on it. But if you get the chance to watch it again or watch it perhaps for the first time, right at the end of that video, which talks about the terrible suffering of Christians in India over the last 50 years or so. Terrible, terrible suffering. It ends with, we support the persecuted, we reach out to the persecutor, or we love the persecutor. They, in their efforts to support the persecuted, try to reach the persecutors with salvation. And this is the attitude we should have. Whatever awful things are done, even the most terrible things that have been done, this is what we are required to do, is to love them and to pray for them and not curse them, and certainly not try and take our revenge. We'll come to that perhaps tomorrow. So we are told to rejoice again in verse 15. Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. I like that phrase, live in harmony with one another, because I'm quite musical. I've always been involved in musical events, and I love singing, and I play the bass clarinet, many of you will know that, in a band. And we play in harmony. We're a band of almost 40 people, and each instrument in the main has a different part, or may have a different part to play, or each section has a different part. First clarinet, second clarinet, third clarinet, bass clarinet, flute, all the different parts, they all have a different line to play, but the whole together makes the music, the harmony of the players. The individual players are great on their own, but they're nothing like the effect of the little band or orchestra in harmony, each taking their part, playing it, and the whole corporate thing. It's another idea, like the body that Paul talks about earlier on. We are to live in harmony with each other. Harmony is it's important to maintain harmony, and continuing with the musical illustration, really, with our band, we have before we play at a concert, we tune up. We tune to a note, usually middle C or maybe B flat. We have B flat instruments in our band, but we all play a note that should sound the same. Let's say it, put it that way, and we alter our instruments slightly if we're not in harmony, so that the end result when we play is in harmony. And then maybe if it's a very hot evening or a very cold evening, or very damp evening, we may well tune up in the interval, in the middle, because as the instruments warm up in being played, their tuning changes, and we have to adjust the way we hold our mouths to our instrument, and ultimately maybe have to retune the instruments and change their tuning to be in harmony. So there may be times in our fellowship when we're not in harmony with one another. Something has gone out of harmony. Something has caused us to be out of harmony, or maybe a disagreement about something, or something an incident that happens in a fellowship meeting, or a remark that's made that offends somebody, and suddenly the body is out of harmony, and we need to maintain the unity of the Spirit, bring the group back into harmony, because the harmony is so important, because it's when we pray and live our lives in agreement that we have the most effect on the world in which we live. We need to maintain harmony in our marriages, in our relationships, in families. Harmony is very important, and that musical illustration is amazing. When we don't play in harmony, or someone plays the wrong note, it really is noticeable. I'll tell you a little story before I finish. We had a little boy who joined. He was a youngster, joined our band, and there was one night when we were playing, and the bandmaster stopped us, and he said one of the clarinets played an F natural instead of an F sharp. And this little boy put his hand up and he said, "That was me." And our musical director said, "Why did you play an F natural instead of an F sharp?" And he said, I don't like F sharp. And that was very funny, but that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Harmony, my dear brothers and sisters, harmony amongst the brethren is very important. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.